Hello everyone and welcome to the big game. I'm Carson Fryou alongside my good friend Brendon Smith, where tonight we'll take a look on how the Lady Lions softball team started their season.
We'll also give an exciting recap of Super Bowl 58.
But first, let's give an update on where the Lady Lions stand in conference play. The Lady Lions basketball team entered the 2023-24 season as preseason favorites to win the conference title, and they've been making great progress so far. Big Game reporter Christian Vavasor was at the Lady Lions home matchup against McNeese and gives us this report.
Lady Lions basketball came into the University Center for their pink out game versus the McNeese Cowgirls back on February 3rd. After being up by 1 point in the first quarter, Southeastern pulled away and went into halftime with a 7-point lead.
I've been told that this is like the hardest place to play in conference. I think it's our crowd. Our crowd we had a great crowd today, great momentum. I don't have to chew the refs out; they can do it for me. We're at home, and we want to make sure that we give these people here something to cheer about.
Southeastern returned to the court and pulled away from McNeese with a 20-point third quarter performance, thanks to the assistance of a double-digit performance by Kennedy Paul coming off the bench.
We're just taking care of business, playing good defense, and running our offense, doing our coaches say, so everything is running real smooth.
Lady Lions forced 12 turnovers against the Cowgirls. This led to Southeastern entering the transition game, scoring 42 points in the paint and connecting with 42% of their shots.
Practice, our coach has been trying to emphasize that, we score the ball. I think game through game, week through week, we've been trying to implement that in our game because we have a lot of people who can go get buckets and score, even on the bench.
With the conference title still up for grabs, only being one game behind the Lamar Cardinals, the Lady Lions will return to action this weekend here inside the University Center as they host the UNO Privateers. Reporting for the big game, I'm Christian Vavasor.
On the men's side of Lions basketball, the team capped off a 6-game winning streak with a Nick Caldwell three-pointer to defeat the HCU Huskies. The Lion played host to Lamar on Monday night, and the big game reporter Eric Brignac gives us an insight on if the team was able to keep their winning streak alive.
Southeastern fans were lined up Monday night to cheer on the Lions for a major contest against the Lamar Cardinals. SLC Player of the Week Nick Caldwell put up a season high of 30 points, along with an electric putback dunk worthy of a SportsCenter Top 10 nod.
He's playing the best basketball he's played in a long time. He's got a lot of confidence. There's a lot of little things that he didn't do that didn't show up in the stat sheet, so it wasn't perfect. He'll be the first one to point that out. But Nick's one of the best players in the conference, and I expect him to play like that, especially in big moments.
In a big moment, the Cardinals spoiled the Lions' evening as they put the pedal to the metal by outscoring Southeastern in the paint 36-10.
Credit to Lamar. I thought they just were the more physical team tonight. They did a really good job just rebounding the basketball, getting second chance points. We talked about it going into the game, about how relentless they are in the offensive glass. They were against us tonight. We gave up 16 offensive rebounds. They were able to get to the free throw line, make more free throws than we attempted, and just be more physical in the paint.
After the Cardinals capitalized on points in transition and scoring 12 points off of turnovers, Southeastern's allowing this game to help them adapt and look forward to their games ahead.
We're going to have a good practice the next day, whether we won or lost. The world's not coming to end. We talk about our highs can't be too high and our lows can't be too low. We won 6 games in a row, and we just talked about getting to the next one and getting to the next practice. Whether we won or lost tonight, we got to have an off day tomorrow and Wednesday, and it's got to be the best practice we've had all year.
Lamar came into town hoping to cool off the Red Hot Lions with a victory on the road. They were able to do just that as they took down Southeastern 77-72 in overtime at the University Center. 59 of their team total points have come from 2-point range, and they took advantage of the Lions' costly turnovers, which led to more scoring opportunities for the Cardinals. All this has helped them seal their 9th win in conference play. This is Eric Brendon reporting for the big game.
The Lions baseball team opened their season at home against the Tarleton State Texans. The Lions fell in Game 1 with the final score of 9-4, but took Games 2 and 3 with the final scores of 2-0 and 5-2. Pitcher Will Kinsler got Sunday's win after giving up only 3 hits and a run, and Shea Thomas came up with a big home run in the 4th inning to put the Lions up for good. Coach Bobby Barbier says that despite the series win, there's still a lot of work to do to get back to being a Southland Conference contender.
I mean, there's a lot of things that can happen, good or bad, and have fortune or misfortune, of course, of winning a game. You know, so we had some pretty good fortune in the last 2 games. Played a lot better. Just seeing us steadily improve to we're playing our best baseball at the end of the season where it matters.
The Lady Lions softball team had a strong start to start the 2024 season with a 9-1 record and outscoring their opponents with 54 combined runs while allowing 13. The Lady Lions played host to South Alabama on Tuesday night, where they could not overcome 4 errors and suffered their first home loss of the season. With the final score of 9-1, Coach Rick Freeman spoke after the game.
And then right out the gate, you know, we had quite a few errors in the first inning, which led to us digging ourselves a hole, and so, you know, we have the 4 errors defensively, which did not help at all. And then a lot of the balls we hit, well, were right to them, unfortunately. But South Alabama did a good job of being aggressive at the plate, and it just wasn't our night.
Coming up after the break, we'll recap the Super Bowl and check in on how the Pelicans are performing in their division. The big game will be right back.
Watching it isn't the same as doing it. Maybe it's time to go outside.
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework. He hates homework.
It makes no sense.
I don't know how he finds anything in his backpack.
I can't find my backpack.
I couldn't even read his handwriting.
Holding the pencil makes my hand hurt.
I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's just gotta try a little harder.
I can.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
Welcome back to the big game. The biggest game of the NFL season took place on February 11th, where the San Francisco 49ers took on the reigning Super Bowl champions, the Kansas City Chiefs. Was it Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy that led his team to his 6th franchise ring, or Patrick Mahomes that created today's newest dynasty? Big game reporter Jules Dormain gives us this report.
With the NFL season coming to a close, the Kansas City Chiefs rivaled the San Francisco 49ers in Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas. After a few first downs on their first drive, San Francisco would get off to a slow start, thanks in part by Christian McCaffrey coughing up the ball on Kansas City's side of the field. After the Chiefs' defense forced an incompletion on 3rd down, the first points of the game would be scored by 49ers kicker Jake Moody. Kansas City, searching for an answer, drives down the field and makes it to the red zone. However, Pacheco coughs up a fumble of his own. The game's first touchdown pass would not come from either Mahomes nor Purdy, but wide receiver Juwan Jennings on this 21-yard completion to Christian McCaffrey. To conclude the first half, Kansas City's Harrison Butker hits the chip shot field goal to cut the lead to 10-3. During the 3rd quarter, Butker would set a new Super Bowl record for the longest field goal with a 57-yarder, cutting the lead to 10-6. A muffed punt would be the ultimate turning point for the Chiefs as they gain momentum. The Chiefs would then score on a pass from Mahomes to Valdez-Scantling, giving Kansas City the lead 13-10. After a long, consistent drive by the 49ers, Juwan Jennings finds himself on the receiving end of a touchdown this time, putting San Fran up 16-13. Jake Moody's PAT would be blocked, keeping the score at 16-13. On defense, the 49ers make another red zone stand, forcing the Chiefs to settle for a field goal, evening the score at 16 apiece. Both teams would add on field goals, sending the game into overtime, 19-19. New overtime rules allow both teams to have a chance to possess the ball. The 49ers win the toss and elect to receive. However, they only manage a field goal, making the score 22-19. The Chiefs' season is almost cut short on a 3rd and 1, but Mahomes puts Swifties on his back and rushes for 22 yards and a first down. Then Mahomes completes a pass to Mecole Hardman in the end zone, winning the Chiefs the game 25-22. Patrick Mahomes would go on to earn his 3rd Super Bowl MVP, but both him and Andy Reid gave props to the defense.
Defense played out of their mind. How about that D, baby?
It was the defense just keeping us in there, and then the offense making plays when it counted.
Andy Reid and the rest of the Chiefs have solidified themselves as a dynasty in America. Reporting for the big game, I'm Jules Dorme.
The New Orleans Pelicans have been soaring through their opponents, winning 7 of their last 8 games. The Pelicans stand currently 1st in the Southwest Division and 6th in the Western Conference. Head coach Willie Green spoke after the team's win against the Wizards, and he talked about how the team approached to keeping the division lead.
I like where we are in terms of we've been able to carve out wins and put ourselves in a solid position as far as the standings is concerned. We're figuring it out as we go with our starting group. And, you know, the improvement is that we want to continue to be elite on both ends of the floor. And it starts with our defense. So coming back, the focus is against these top teams, we have to have a defensive presence. We have to continue to share the ball, which we've done, finish possessions with rebounds defensively and shoot open shots, which we did tonight.
The Pelicans play host to the Houston Rockets tonight, and the game will be streamed live exclusively on NBA League Pass.
The playoffs have officially started for Division I of high school women's basketball. 20 teams entered the playoffs, all with the same goal, to walk out as Division I champs. 8 teams have made it to the quarterfinals, including the 2nd-seeded Denham Springs Yellow Jackets. The team opened their playoff season with a win against Slidell Lady Tigers with the final score of 58-63. They play host to the 7th-seeded Ruston tonight and can be streamed live on Varsity Sports Network.
We're going to take a break, but when we come back, we'll take a look at the man who runs Southeastern Athletics. Don't go anywhere.
I am what hunger looks like in America.
I am an 8-year-old girl who's not excited for the last day of school. Because this may be the last time I'll have lunch. Till September.
I am a single father of 2 who works 3 part-time jobs. And that's still not enough to put food on the table. I am a 16-year-old boy who just got my first job to help feed my little sisters. I was created by artificial intelligence from faces of the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. People you pass by every day but never knew they were hungry.
Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
History is not always something we can see or touch. What they encountered horrified them. One of the most diabolical crimes in Louisiana history.
There's no way this is real.
Welcome back to the big game. Southeastern fans have seen big improvements for the sports teams, and many of the Southeastern coaches feel that their teams have set a winning culture in the city of Hammond. Though many eyes have focused on these sports, I thought Brendon would give appreciation to the man who helped create a winning culture for all of the Southeastern sports teams.
Meet J.R. Teagues. He's been the athletic director for Southeastern since 2013 and has brought in 20 Southland Conference championships across 9 sports since taking over 11 years ago.
He's shown resilience and leadership and great commitment to Lion athletics, Southeastern Louisiana University, and our community. And I will tell you that I believe that he is exactly the right person at the right time to lead Lion athletics. So please welcome J.R. Teagues as athletic director for Southeastern Louisiana University.
But it isn't just on-the-field success the Lions have been seeing, as they too are also finding success in the classroom.
Cumulative GPA of a 3.0 higher as a department is hard to do, but we do it every semester now, and that's something we're really proud of.
Although hesitant to take over the job in 2013, J.R. Teagues has passed with flying colors and thanks his coaching background to making the job easier for him.
I think being a coach helps you so much in this role. And I know there's different avenues to get to be an athletic director, and whether you're in the business side, the compliance side, the fundraising side, or coming from a coach, I think I have a huge advantage because I've been where those coaches are. I understand their challenges, I understand their needs, which really helps me in this position to try to get them the things they need to be successful. So seeing it through a coach's eyes makes all the difference.
Jay was even fortunate enough to watch his son Champ play for the Green and Gold and, more importantly, graduate with a quality education.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, because we do this day in, day out, and to watch your kid out there, it's pretty special. No matter what, you're still a dad, when they're out there playing. It's pretty special. It's challenging on him, obviously. Anytime you play in somewhere that your dad works is a challenge, but to watch his success on the field and the classroom, graduated in President's List, just doing a great job getting his degree, it's pretty cool to watch him run out there in the Green and Gold and do some of the things that he was able to do. It was pretty special.
Right behind me is the Dugas Center, where our Teagues and his athletic staff operate very much in the driver's seat in both athletics and academics, and they are not looking to take their foot off the brakes anytime soon.
Well, we can't rest on our past success, and it's something we got to keep our foot on the pedal. I'm always challenging our staff. We got to come up with new ideas. We got to be fresh because other people are trying to catch us. We are the premier athletic department in the Southern Conference. I don't want somebody to catch us. We got to make sure we're changing every single day when we adapt. And you mentioned NIL. We can't sit there and complain about it. We got to embrace it, and I'm just using that for example. We got to keep improving facilities every day. We may not have the multi-million-dollar donors, but if you do something small each year, you look up in 5 years, you're like, daggone, we got a lot done. And that's what's happening here. You're seeing a lot of support for football and baseball and basketball and soccer and every sport here, the success our softball teams had. And because of that, people want to be a part of it. People want to be a part of a successful program, be a part of a winner, whatever you're talking about. So that's been a big challenge for us, is just making sure we're not resting on our laurels and we continue to try to improve in every aspect of our department.
Reporting for The Big Game, I'm Brendon Smith.
Brendon, that was a great package, but I'd like to ask you some more questions based off of your interview with Mr. Artigues. What's Southeastern's progress towards making an NIL program for the student athletes?
All right, so earlier in the week I talked with Coach Artigues, and he told me that this week that they would be meeting with their sponsors to create some NIL programs for some of their student athletes. So they have already met or are possibly going to meet later in this week.
Okay, and another question. NCAA Football 25 is coming out. It's been being made for the past few years, and a lot of people are looking forward to the game. Has EA had a conversation with Southeastern and the athletic department to be featured in NCAA football?
EA, as of this moment, has not had a conversation with Southeastern Athletics Department, but it is possible that in the foreseeable future that Southeastern and a lot of other FCS schools can be added as DLC for the base game.
Well, we'll just have to wait to see for those fans. And that will do it for this episode of The Big Game. For more information on Lion Athletics, visit www.lionsports.net. And for more of us here at The Big Game, visit thesoutheasternchannel.com. For Brendon Smith and the entire Big Game crew, I'm Carson Fryou saying so long, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on The Big Game.